Good. Okay, so Jennifer, can we start over, please?
So, my question is that I saw that there's the new LeanMind method,
Yeah.
and when it says to go through it every single day, is it one section or all of the sections per day?
Right. So I want you to have a life. And obviously, you'd lose a whole lot of weight if all you did was listen to my recordings and you didn't eat. So
True.
one way to do it for sure. But no, it's actually designed to use one a day
Okay.
and just rotate through them. If you like them and you have more time and you want to listen to two, then listen to two different ones and cut them out of the listening from the next day and the next day until you get through them all, and then just rotate back through them again.
Okay. Sounds
But all you need
great.
is one a day. Just remember when you get that craving, when you're not supposed to, and if you can't fight it off yourself, use the Craving Killer.
Okay. So that one's as needed.
Yeah, that one is only as needed. I end up using it maybe 3 times a week when I find these cravings are just overwhelming me and it's like, oh, I need to have this, I need to have that. So so it's very good. It works in two different ways, just so you know. It is trying to entrain your brain or get your brain to entrain, but it keeps changing frequencies before your brain has a chance to actually follow the frequency. So your brain kind of gets nudged saying, hey, I need to give more resources to this because I'm not in training like I should. And as it gives more and more resources to your brain trying to follow my frequencies, it takes more and more resources away from your hunger. The
Okay,
other thing
cool.
is, the other thing is research shows that if you can hold off on having a fulfilling your craving for 10 minutes, it will likely disappear by itself. So the
Okay.
recording is about 15 minutes and it works on you from two levels. One, it makes you wait 15 minutes before you satisfy the craving. And two, it works to help, get rid of the energy that's going towards food and put it towards your brain instead.
Okay.
And
Okay,
that's
cool. So then the other question I had really quickly is just in general in the main, like all the main courses, um, where's the best place to, I guess, start in understanding where like the how to go through all these? Obviously, there's some that I just don't need, but calm and clarity and sales and self-mastery, confidence, business, like they all sound like, yeah, that I could use help with that.
So all the recordings are what are called synergistically compatible. And hi, Heidi, I see you there. Please be patient. We'll be with you in a sec. So they're what I call synergistically compatible. That means that all the systems can be used in conjunction with each other to get benefits from everything. That doesn't mean you have to listen to every recording every day, but it does mean you can listen on alternate days. So today you can listen to Common Clarity, tomorrow you can listen to Mastery, the day after you can listen to Wellness, or you can just listen to one recording from one and then another recording from another and another recording from another. So decide what you want to work on and then rotate. Consider it as if that everything, let's say there were 3 products that you wanted to work on, 3 areas. Then treat all the recordings as if they're in one pool
Okay.
and just one, and then listen to the next one and the next one. The order actually doesn't matter. It's the variety that makes the difference in the effect.
Okay, cool. That's really helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, pleasure. Heidi.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Maury. This goes back to Jennifer's first question or topic on the trim. I'm going to call it trim, not weight loss, right, Maury?
Oh, the LeanMind Method.
The LeanMind, okay. I imagine, like anything, the intention is really good to have prior to that. So that coupled with the session of cravings or whatever it is will help amplify the results. Am I correct?
That makes a lot of sense, yes. The thing is, if someone chooses to listen to LeanMind Method, then they already have the intention. So they don't have to actually state an intention. They can if they like, but the choosing of the recording is a sign of intention by itself.
Oh, that's a good point. I thought, and what I'm understanding and encouraging people when they listen to it is to set a specific desire, I guess, or intention prior, so it kind of solidifies it. That's what I thought you had encouraged us. Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome. But doing anything like that is always a good idea. You know, the more attention you give to something, the more focus you give to it, the more likely you are to get it, which is why most of us have bad things happening, because we're always worried about bad things happening. So that brings our intention into life. So, you know, if any of your clients or any of you are having a problem with, you know, this sucky thing keeps happening to me, this sucky thing. Like today, for instance, I've had nothing but technical difficulties. I fully expect to get kicked out of my own room now. So just stick around and I'll come back, okay? But the thing is, why is this happening? And I'm thinking, why is this happening to me? Like, what did I do? Did I piss someone off? Did I do something wrong? And then I thought, you know, maybe it's just giving me practice on being patient. Maybe there's a reason for this that is a good reason. It doesn't have to be a bad reason, just, you know, a definition. What is bad? Bad is something you define as bad. What might be bad to you might be beautiful to someone else. Imagine food. Let's say you like calamari, and for me, it makes me gag. It's the same stimulation, it's just two different results. Why is one person enjoying it and another person doesn't enjoy it? That's kind of hard to conceptualize, but if we start thinking from the perspective of what benefit can I get out of this experience that I'm not seeing, then you start looking for a benefit instead of looking for something bad. And I believe this is what using this type of recording and these systems have done for me, at least, and for many of my clients, is that it helps people to see things for what they are instead of what they think they are. You know, less judgment, more observation.
Right. I agree with you, and I'm working on pause and not reacting to things as well. Before we move on to Susie, some
Sure.
people might have questions that they don't want to come on the camera, or is there any way you can open up the chat?
I apologize. You know what? I keep saying I'm going to do that, and I never do that. So give me a second. I appreciate
Okay, no
you.
worries. I just want to make sure that we're serving everyone in case there are questions that people want to. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, Susie, just before we go, anyone who wants to leave a message, if you don't want to be identified, then leave it as a private message to me and mention I don't want to be identified. Otherwise, I'm going to give you credit for the question. So there you go. The chat should be open now. If someone could just type, yes, it is, Maury, and we'll see if it actually gets to everybody, that would be terrific. Thank you very much, everybody. And Susie, you were the first to say yes, and you have your hand up, so please feel free to go right ahead.
Okay, so I just had someone that wanted to sign up for the LeanMind Method, and it's not showing up as an option.
That is correct. It is on the app now.
Okay.
For those of us who have the all access, but the sales page is going up today or tomorrow.
Okay.
Now, the other thing is I was speaking a little out of turn because I have a hard time saying no to people. So we are going to be releasing the menopause product, which isn't called Meno. I think it's called the LeanMind Method. And I will be submitting that to be built into a page and to be put into the app. The Rewiring product that I was talking about last week or the week before, that unfortunately we're having a few glitches with it. It won't be released till next month. So I do apologize. But look, anyone who is dealing with people and they want to get them started on stuff, any of the things they already have will do the trick. You know, start getting the brain. The whole idea is we want to get the brain moving. We want to get it activity. There's a thing called the frequency following response that I've explained a few times, where you kind of follow the pulse rate and your neurons follow. Even though these other recording systems are not designed specifically for memory cognitive issues, doesn't mean they can't help. So don't wait. If you have a loved one or someone that is really waiting for whatever I'm going to call Revitamind next month when we release it. Don't make them wait. As a matter of fact, let me just confirm the title, but I think I think it's, just give me a second. I don't want to speak out of school, so to speak. So, and my phone, by the way, I'm having all these internet and all these technical problems. My phone crapped out on me 2 days ago also. Like, lost everything. All my chats, everything, just gone. And I kind of rolled my eyes in the back of my head and I started laughing hysterically. And I couldn't believe that I was laughing hysterically. I thought, okay, I'm really angry and I'm just overreacting. But that isn't the case. I actually started laughing because I thought, this is just crazy. Like, why would this happen to me? I'm trying to help people. So anyway, it's self-mastery because that has the most variety of frequency. That would be the best one to get them started on. And I was thinking to myself, boy, all this stuff. In the meantime, I reinstalled all the apps, and I've only got about 265 apps, so it didn't take that long. And now my phone runs like 5 times faster. The battery lasts 3 times as long. Best thing in the world that could have happened to me was my phone crapping. So, I encourage all of you to think in similar fashion. When something instinctively makes you go, oh, take a breath and think about what's happening. I made a course on confidence and self-esteem, gotta be 12 years ago. I'd have to look for it if anyone's interested. And this course, I got a virus on my computer. I let somebody from Norton Antivirus on my computer. They promised me, we won't do anything except look around without asking you first. Well, this guy's flying through my computer. Screens are flying by like crazy. And then he goes, okay, virus gone. I said, what'd you do? He goes, oh, I deleted this and I deleted that and I deleted this. He deleted my entire 6-week course. All of it. It took me 6 months to do this course. He deleted everything. By the way, Norton made good on it, though. They gave me $100 credit. Because, of course, that's worth 6 months of work, right? Translates into $100. In the meantime, 3 months later, I had a far better course created. So again, everything that looks bad is only looking bad if I choose to define it that way. So I encourage everybody to kind of learn from my mistakes. So hopefully you don't have to go through the silliness I go through. It's my lot in life. Apparently the universe just likes poking me and watching me squirm. Whatever. If it does, it does. I'm not going to argue anymore. Lynn, you have your hand up. Do you need to go to the bathroom?
No, I did that before I got on the call.
Lovely. How can I help you?
I have someone who has asked me what the differences are between a program she has used and our MindTrainer Pro. And I don't expect you to compare every, other program that's out there, but I did a little bit of research into the one she was asking about. And what it does is it's music and it affects the autonomic nervous system. So I haven't responded to her yet, but I want to make sure that I'm clear because I believe I recall you saying that MindTrainer Pro actually changes the neural pathways in the brain. So it's beyond affecting the autonomic nervous system.
Well, it actually works on the brain specifically, not just the autonomic nervous system.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what this product is, but when you explain it to me that it has music, look, brainwave entrainment, it doesn't mean it's not effective. Okay, I want to clarify right now. I'm not bad-mouthing or poo-pooing anything out there. But when you speak specifically about brainwave entrainment, I'm sitting with holding my head up, even though it probably doesn't look like it's being held too high, but I'm holding my head up. Just the act of flexing the muscles to hold my head is causing brainwave activity to occur. Everything I'm doing, I'm touching my neck, I'm massaging it, I'm waving at you, I'm doing anything, I'm looking. All of these things affect brainwave activity. They all are in competition with brainwave activity and brainwave entrainment. So when you hear something that's associated with music, and I've made what I call AIM recordings, affirmational inspirational music. And they're all designed as affirmations, as the lyrics, to help people to feel better and to act better. And I'm in the process now of incorporating a specific frequency of brain entrainment tone in there to act as like a subtle nudge to get the brain into a specific state or a rough area of a state. But every other sound you hear, so trumpets, piano, guitar, frogs gurgling or chirp. What do frogs do? Do they gurgle? Do they ribbit? I don't know what it's called. But with the sounds they make, crickets, all these different sounds, they're very relaxing, but they're not in training. They actually get in the way of the entrainment. Just like my muscle activity, just like listening to music. It may be a pleasurable experience, but it's not an entrainment experience. So they're not getting an entrainment result. Even the music I'm creating with the entrainment tones embedded will only be a very subtle entrainment response. And when you speak about the triliminals, it's about programming the neural pathways in a specific way. But even with the ba 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 in the background, my voice is in competition with the brainwave entrainment. But it's not, the entrainment is not designed to fully entrain you with a triliminal anyway. It's designed to get you just into that right state of mind. It's called the hypnagogic state, so that your brain more easily accepts what is being said and converts it into something that makes sense for you, so that you can then react better to things around you, as opposed to what I was talking about before, how I go, what's going on? What's going on? But we can recover quicker if our brain is in the right state. And that's what it's about. So the music itself, again, you can tell her this does different things than what her product does. But I definitely I'd be very cautious about bad-mouthing anything.
Oh, yeah.
Even if
I
you
agree.
even if you don't think it's good. If it's good for someone, if they're using it and they're getting benefits, I get people all the time. What do you think of Holosync? What do you think of HemiSync? What do you think of this? What do you think of that? What do you think of the devices? You know, because there's ones with like flashing lights and with headphones and all this other stuff. And I say, that's a great question. What do you think of it? Let them tell you what they think of it. What we do with MindTrainer Pro is different from what anybody else does. That doesn't mean it's better or it's not as good or it's a lot better or whatever. It means it's different. And in my experience, it's different because it needed to be different, because when I designed all this stuff originally for my own use, that other stuff that was out there wasn't helping me. That's what inspired me to do the rest.
Very good. I'm glad you're recording this.
Yeah.
I want to go back and listen to that again, but that's helpful. Thank you. And I would never badmouth another product. I certainly haven't experienced what she's asking, and it may be helping her. So I agree with you.
And even if you have experienced it and it doesn't help you, the last thing I want to do is you see, I've got this deep authoritative news voice, which is hard to hear because my microphone's in the sky. But now it's better. Right now I'm like, welcome to Brain FM, which is actually a product. I shouldn't have used that. But what happens? How would you feel if you convince someone to stop doing something because you told them it doesn't have any scientific basis, it really doesn't work, you're just imagining it all? And then they stop using it and they're not getting the benefits anymore because they listened to me or they listened to you. Worst thing in the world. I do not want that responsibility of making someone think that what they're doing was placebo. Because you know what? Even if it is placebo, who cares?
Yeah, placebo can be effective. Yeah.
I think placebos maybe save more lives than surgery and a lot of things. So it's very important for us not to badmouth anybody else or any other products. If someone, the only thing I would suggest is, because someone may ask you, because they'll think of you as a bit of a brain expert now that you're marketing something like this. I would kind of go after it from this perspective. I would say, well, look, if you feel that this is something that you want to try, then you should try it. There's no question about it. You know yourself better than I do, a lot better than I do. Maybe you're getting this feeling to try it because you need to know, or maybe you do know something on some level and you're just not consciously aware of it. The trick is, and the only thing I would ask you to consider is make sure they offer a refund, so that if you do try it and you're not in sync with it, that you can give it back and get your money back, because a lot of companies won't give their money back. Now, these are products generally that cost hundreds and thousands of dollars. For $14.97 a month, that's really not something that we can refund. But it's such a small amount. There's like nothing to get into the game with it, to try it. And most people, if they use it regularly and consistently, will see a benefit, in my opinion. And they'll see a benefit because it's, it's getting your brain to go into a natural state, not a supernatural state, not an unnatural state, but it gets your brain to how they designed it. Helen's phone is coughing or something, so I'm just going to mute it out there. But anyway, that's my opinion on how to deal with other people's products. Dr. Sandra, you're waving? I'm sorry, you're breaking up. I see you there. Your hand is up. You're more than welcome to talk, but I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Okay, let's try it again. Can you hear me now? Where I am for my internet.
Yeah, that's much better.
I think. Better?
Yeah, that's much better. As a matter of fact, now I have to lower my volume. Okay, go ahead.
I experienced a period of unconsciousness from when I was driving down the road for probably 15 minutes until, I don't know, an angel reached in and turned my engine off. My question to you is, immediately thereafter, my blood sugar was like 33 and the ambulance people did all the things. I have a feeling that I anticipate lost some nerve connections and in the brain. I wondered, I've been trying to really push on everything so that I can reconnect them and whatever. Do you have any thoughts? Is there anything that you have that might help that?
Okay, you were kind of breaking up. So to help what again? I'm sorry.
I mean, did you hear any of it?
No, I didn't hear any. I heard, did you hear any of that? That's all I heard. Yeah, you're totally off now. Is there any way that you could type it into the chat?
Sure could.
You're driving right now, so if you could do that, I'm going to look at the chat in a second because nobody's hand is up right now. And if you can do that, I'm happy to help. So while we're waiting for Dr. Sandra to get her
helps, and
I'm just gonna,
how about now?
I hear you now. Yes, go ahead.
Excellent. Briefly, apparently, I experienced was driving and experienced an unconscious period of 15 miles and subsequently found to have 33 blood sugar. Ambulance took me. Since then, I feel that there are neurons that are not fully connected or else suffered during that period. Is there any of your products that might help reconnect now that we know so much about neurons in the brain and the fact that they can reconnect? I'll quit talking.
Well, I actually heard you perfectly that time. So You're probably aware that I'm not allowed to make medical claims.
Oh, yes, of course.
Okay. However, I am going to read to you an excerpt from the book, The End of Alzheimer's by Dr. Dale Bredesen, if I can. And this was a section written when he was talking about my particular recordings that he uses as part of his recode protocol. So if you are awakening due to, if you're awakening due to stress, consider meditation or a recording such as neural agility, which actually will be renamed and it's part of the Revitamind system.
Is that your
calls it
system?
meditation. Yes. He calls it meditation on steroids. Listening to this program drives brain frequencies that are associated with relaxation and enhanced synaptic plasticity, the physiological basis for the formation of new memories. In order to use this approach, simply relax, blah, blah, blah. We don't have to get into the rest of it.
Right.
But that's what Dr. Dale Bredesen, Alzheimer's researcher extraordinaire, has to say. So that's as close to a claim as I can come to make for you, is that
expect you to make a claim that blah, blah, blah. I was just honest to ask you if you thought something helped. Now that is in your package. What is that?
the actual that system itself will be available next month, barring any unforeseen circumstances. But that being said, any of the recordings, especially the Brainwave only recordings, like, do you have the all access, Sandra? Okay. So any of the Brainwave only recordings, so that means no talking, would be the most powerfully able to elicit neuronal responses that are along the lines of what you might be looking for.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, and I'd love feedback from you once you start using them regularly as well.
Okay.
And if you have any questions or you need
Oh, great. Do you have a DM that or do we come on? How do we ask questions? I mean, generally speaking, right. Generally speaking, that's what Mondays with Maury is all about. Got it. Okay.
It's all about me answering questions from consumers and from affiliates.
Super. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your questions. Thank you. Okay, while I wait for someone else, I see a bunch of people here. I don't see a lot of hands though, but that's okay because I do see questions, at least a few here. So, what do you mean sales page with, okay. Yes. I was asked, what do you mean sales page? Will LeanMind Method be on the website for people to purchase? Yes, it will. But those of you who have all access might already be seeing it in their app. That's because, as we promised, anytime a new product gets released, it's automatically going to go there. And the app is faster than the web page, believe it or not, because the web page requires design. The app is a system. We just stick it in, and our guy Tony takes care of putting it up for us. Sylvia, I'll get to you. Yes.
Let me ask, I'll just clarify that question that I had. So when you were speaking earlier, you said, first you said, and also you said, if LeanMind isn't available, to start on self-mastery. And I had another clarifying question. So you're suggesting we promote that for now, and then they switch it to the LeanMind or whatever it is that they want, that it's not yet available on the website. That was the first.
Right now, if they actually get the all access, I believe they will have access to the LeanMind Method, even though it's not available on the website to buy individually yet.
Yeah, no, this was somebody who was promoting this to a new person who doesn't have anything. Yeah.
So, right. So the best thing, if they do want them to get LeanMind Method, they should get them to buy the all access. If they just want to buy lean or rent, so to speak, LeanMind Method, then they will have to wait till the web page is up.
Got it.
Because there's no way to purchase it.
This is the $97 a month is a great.
Yeah. Think about it.
So.
Well, think about it also. Every time, right now we have, I think, 12 or 13 products up there. So divide that by 97. And then we add 2 more products soon. Now you're going to have 2 more products. That means the price per product keeps dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping. Because the price doesn't go up. The $97 a month stays there. It doesn't go up. We have no plans to raise that price. It's not like an introductory price. That's just how it is.
Yep. And then the other piece was the sales page. So you had said that there's a sales page coming, and I guess we'll just wait for that. Okay.
Yeah, and that shouldn't be long, like maybe a couple of days tops, I would think.
And then that's how we can have that sales page in our back office or wherever.
That's a
send
good
it to
question.
someone and then.
Yes. So right now,
I assume that.
well, usually it's not a good idea to assume, but you're pretty clever here.
No,
So,
I mean, I shouldn't say that I assume. We'll have access to it some way, somehow, and then we give that to the person who's interested in buying.
yes. Right now, the way the affiliate system is set up, every affiliate gets the homepage. And then if someone clicks through to a product, they get access to it. The people who buy it, you get the credit for the sale. But the statistics are a little weird with that. So what we're doing is we're changing it so that all of you affiliates will get links to every single product. So you can market the homepage, you can market wellness, you can market whatever you want to a specific audience. That is not available yet, but soon in your back office, you will see it. As a matter of fact, I was halfway through writing an email to the team to request the change ASAP. And then I noticed it was 2 minutes to 4. So I figured, oops, I better get here so I can answer other questions.
Thank you.
But I will get there. You're very welcome. Thank you. So Sylvia, did you have your hand up? Did you have a question you wanted to ask?
Yeah, hi, Maury. Something
Hi.
that just popped up into my head after Dr. Sandra's episode. Have you ever considered or compared combining writing with the brainwave during those episodes, since it does enhance rewiring, neuronal rewiring?
Yeah, we have a couple of doctors here today. Sylvia is a doctor as well, by the way. So Dr. Sandra, just...
You had any experience with that?
Are you asking Dr. Sandra or myself?
No, you. Have you
Okay.
had that experience or considered it?
Yeah. I actually have some programs, some stuff that will get released down the road that actually involves writing things down, because it's a well-known fact that when you write something down, you actually create a neural pathway. Not typing,
Yes.
not swiping, but actual handwriting. So yes, that does help stabilize neuronal processes for sure. And thank you for bringing that up, because that's something that you can do also, Dr. Sandra, and all of us. Don't lose the habit because we have our phones. So all we do is we type or we swipe or whatever. We're getting lazier all the time. And the lazier we get, the less brain activity we create. Most of us, when we were children, we actually wrote things. Remember that? And I remember in my later years in high school, they brought in typewriters. And it was like people started typing stuff. And then it was word processors. And then it was computers. And now we don't even have to type, we can talk. And it translates it to text, right? But what that does is there's certain natural effects that happen that are beneficial when we write, when we do things with our hands. And if we stop doing them and our kids aren't doing them, then they are not developing their brains the way the brain was wired to be developed. And they will be missing things. Look at AI. A lot of people are relying on AI to do all the thinking for them. They have a little prompt, and that's all they need to do. AI is fantastic. But if we rely on it, if we become dependent on it, I keep thinking of this old cartoon of a 800-pound man not doing anything, but he thinks stuff, and robots bring him food and robots wash him and all these different things happen. But the human is just a blob. We're not human anymore. What makes us human is that we have a brain. And remember something very urgently. Your brain is not a hard drive. It is a processing unit. So don't just take things in, including what I'm saying, I might add. Don't just take things in as honest truth or fact. You are designed to think, reinterpret everything in your own fashion, make it your own, and then if you decide to accept it, accept it. But don't accept what I say as a blueprint. Don't accept what anybody says as a blueprint. You are your only guru. You are the only person there who really knows you. And you're the only person who can ultimately help yourself. That's why this work is so important, because it doesn't really tell you what to do. It just exercises the muscles you need to use to help yourself. That's really what it does. So hopefully that helps. Let's see. Shafali, is that correct?
Yes, hi. Sorry, I haven't been on for a while, so I'm a little bit behind, but I am interested in the lean. So I didn't realize there was a separate website for. I mean, I'm on the main website. I'm confused. Where do I find it?
Okay. So are you on the MindTrainer-Pro website?
Yes.
Okay. The page that allows this, or that will show this product, make it available, has not been uploaded yet.
Okay, got it.
Okay. It will be uploaded with a little luck later today or tomorrow. Everybody send good thoughts to the technical gods. This week hasn't been technologically wonderful for me. So keep good thoughts, okay? So that we can get this going there. Once it's available, then people will be able to purchase it. That being said, we've already got it set up on the app. And I think Steve was waving earlier saying, yes, it's showing up on the app. Is that correct, Steve? Thank you.
So the app is
If you wanted it
for
now,
the iPhone or
we are in the process of getting it approved in the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. But
Okay.
who knows when that's going to happen. In the meantime, what you can do is we have a web app which you can use, and give me a second and I will give you the link for it.
Hey, Maury, I posted it in the chat.
You guys are just too good.
So then do we use the same username and password as the main
Yes.
MindTrainer Pro? Okay. Okay, perfect. All right, I will check it out there. Thank you so much. Thank you, Heidi. I will check that out. I definitely need that.
I'm just going to click that link to make sure. Yes, it's perfect. I just wanted to make sure that it was going to take them all to the right place. So basically, here's the thing. On an iPhone, all you need to do is type in that URL Heidi gave you into your Safari browser. I think that's what they use in iPhones, Safari.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you're using a different browser, I think you can download other browsers too. And then just save it as a favorite. The only difference between how that looks on your phone and how the app will look on your phone is you won't have the address bar at the top of the browser. Otherwise, it's going to be identical. And as far as Android, if any of you have an Android phone, there's 3 dots in the top right corner of the web page when you have it up on your phone. If you tap those 3 dots, you'll see at the bottom, it will say save to home page or something to that effect. When you tap save to home page, it'll give you 2 options: to save it as a shortcut or to install the app. And if you hit install app, you'll actually get the app installed on your phone. But you have to have an Android. Apple doesn't allow it. But again, no big difference. Yes, of course.
As a silly question, I thought Mondays with Maury was at 1 p.m. Eastern. I have you in my calendar at 1 p.m. Eastern, and it's like it's 4. So it's like,
well, you want to get even more confused? I'm happy to help you. There's actually 2 Mondays with Maury. The first and third Monday of the week, I do a different Mondays with Maury. At 4 o'clock, I do this one, which is all about MindTrainer Pro and help, assistance, affiliates, etc. That's what this MindTrainer Pro is. This is the real Mondays with Maury, if you will.
Okay. Okay, because I didn't have this in my calendar. I just happened to see the email, and it's like, oh, let me go check it out, because it's 1 o'clock is usually not I can't really do 1 o'clock, but I can do 4. So it's like, okay, perfect. Thank you. I thought I was going crazy. It's like,
Yeah, it works
here,
out.
something's happening.
Yeah, a lot of people got confused. Originally, we tried to do it together, but it was too convoluted. So we separated them completely.
Awesome.
But
Okay,
everyone
thank you
liked
so
the
much.
Mondays with Maury words, so we stuck with it. I even
Yeah,
created a little
yeah.
jingle. So there you go.
Do you want to sing it?
No, I don't sing. I have a terrible voice.
Okay, no worries. Thank you.
If we don't have any
Unless-
questions, we can always play the Mondays with Maury jingle, but there's no real reason to. I mean, doesn't accomplish anything. Maybe a little ego stroke, but that's all. So let me see here. Let's see here. Okay. Oh, yeah. So you have all access, right, Shefali? If you look through it now, you'll see, I believe the LeanMind method is right after wellness, if my memory serves. You should see it right after wellness.
Okay, I just have to go find my password so I can log in with my password. Like, oh, if you can
That's why
do something with that, remembering
Well,
passwords, like,
so here's the thing. I signed in with my Google ID, so I just tap the email and it logs me right in. There are ways to save passwords on iPhones and on Android phones. The other thing is we're making a lot of changes to the app. Every time there's a change made to the app, you need to sign in again. That's just
okay.
the beast.
Yeah.
Once things
yeah.
get a little more stable, it'll only be once a month that you'll have to do that. And that'll be because we're adding the new product or the new recordings.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
You are most welcome. Any other questions or comments? We still have about 15 minutes, and I'm also looking through the chat here. Yeah. Jennifer was mentioning she's always founding, she always finds that when she loses something, rebuilding it is always better. Yeah, the universe, God, whatever you like to think of it as, has a way of making our lives better. We have to see it that way. That's the real trick. When we see it that way, it makes a difference. Our attitude is everything. So let's see, Heidi. So you mean by self-mastery system that switched to one that they want, which is not it's not a
We talked about that.
Okay, thank you. And the sales page we already got to. Well, I don't see any more questions. I can blither on about something interesting about brainwave entrainment if you folks like. Or if you have any questions. How's this? Have any of you had any questions from clients or customers that you didn't have a good answer for, that you'd like to get a good answer for? Or maybe questions you have yourself. Okay, let me give you a general thing here. How about this? We had a question earlier about what makes this different or better than something else. So again, I would kind of stay away from saying better than. Between you and me, though, it is. I just want you to know that. But like in the right crowd, you can say it. In the wrong crowd, you shouldn't say it. That being said, this system is developed by someone, me, who actually has done a whole lot of research into this. There are software packages that you can buy for like $50, $150, whatever, that claim to create brainwave entrainment. And what they generally do is you type in what you want it to do. I wanted to grow hair in my ear. Why anyone would want that, I have no idea. But let's just say that's what they want. And then the system will look up preset formulas that have nothing to do with real brainwave entrainment. For instance, how many of you, those of you who have your hands up or can hit hit some kind of I don't know, a heart or a bell or whatever they want to hit. I want you to tell me how many of you think that delta is the sleep frequency? Ooh, you're all smarter than I gave myself credit for. So delta is not the sleep frequency. As a matter of fact, delta is a frequency experienced in sleep. It is not the sleep frequency. When you're asleep, your brain actually is active in all frequencies, including gamma and beta. but it is dominant at various points in alpha, in theta, in gamma, in delta, in beta. So all of the 5 main groups of brain frequencies are experienced when you sleep. When you're in theta, or in what's called a hypnagogic state, that's when you're dreaming. And again, that's theta as a dominant brainwave frequency. Your brain is never in, like if you hear people say, oh, I'm in alpha, or I'm in theta, or I'm in delta, or what they are in is denial because they don't know what they're talking about. Unless you hook yourself up to an electroencephalogram, you know, those things with the probes, you have no idea what your brain is doing. And if you go to YouTube and you type in EEG, live EEG, or show me EEG brain, then it'll show lighting up all these different colors. And the different colors are nothing more than random assignment of different brainwave frequencies. So red doesn't necessarily mean anything, pink, blue, orange, green. They don't really mean anything except how many times the neuron in that group is flickering on and off in a second. And that's all it is. But you'll notice even in sleep, the brain lights up in different regions. And the brain tends to light up and flicker almost like Christmas lights on a tree. On, off, on, off, on, off, on. And that's natural. And it's supposed to be like that. There's different regions of the brain. They have different specialties. And depending on what you're thinking, what you're dreaming, what your body is doing, because your brain and body don't actually turn off when you go to sleep. Your brain still makes you breathe. It still makes your lungs, expand and contract. It makes your heart beat, makes your blood flow. It does repair work. It does all kinds of stuff. Your body never truly sleeps. Neither does your mind. Well, your brain. Your mind might be said to sleep, but your brain doesn't sleep. Everything is active all the time. So the problem is, though, that there's a lot of misinformation out there. There's so much about, like, everything we know, in my view, and maybe one of the doctors can deny or say yay or nay, but in my understanding, for everything we know about the brain, which is a lot, it's a minuscule piece of what there is to know about the brain. So it's not a matter of knowing something, or this is a fact, or this is the truth. It's more a matter of having what I call a current understanding. And that's what's really more important than anything else. Throughout history, we have thought, as a race, humanity has thought that this is true, that this is a fact, that this is that. It isn't. There was a period of time, believe it or not, when women who were diagnosed with hysteria, right, had holes drilled in their head to release the evil spirits. This is what medical doctors did. They drilled holes. There's skulls. There's fossil record. There's skull record of women with holes in their head to release the evil spirits. Can you believe that? That was a fact. That was a truth. That's one of the biggest reasons why I don't believe in fact or truth anymore. I think we all exist in our own universe. What you see is different than what I see, even if we look at the same thing. You define it differently, you see it differently, it smells different to you, it looks different to you. Everything is so different that it's difficult for me to say anything is the truth. Do I believe in anything? No. Then people will say, well, you believe in that you don't believe in anything. No, I actually don't, because I admit that I could also be wrong. So if I'm wrong, then what does that prove? It proves nothing. That's my point. Nothing can be really, truly proven. Even Tylenol. How many of you take Tylenol occasionally if you get a headache or muscle aches or a painkiller? Good. It's nice to see that there's so few of you. But that being said, Tylenol is legally has the right to say headache and pain relief. That's why they get away with it on their ads. When I heard about that, I asked GPT, I asked doctors, I asked a bunch of people, and I found out that it took 12 studies to get 3 that were above placebo, showing headache and muscle relief. Is that proof to anybody here? That's not proof to me. Just because they can say it doesn't mean it's true. So all I'm saying is keep your mind open. Realize that you see things differently than other people do. And other people see things differently than you do too. So when you're speaking with a potential client, when you're speaking with yourself, when you're speaking with your kids, with your husband, with your wife, whatever you're speaking, whoever you're speaking to, try to remember that they don't see things the way you do. And because they don't see things the way that you do, they may not agree with you, but that's okay. Tracy, we'll get to you in 2 seconds. There's an ancient song from the 30s, I believe. And I don't know if this is the name of it, but this is a line in it. You're always right, and I'm never wrong. And since I've adopted that philosophy, my life is so much easier. I don't wait for people to be quiet so I can tell them how wrong they are, which is what I used to do, by the way, or to try to convince them. Now I realize that what they see is real. Hey, quantum physics. I'm a lover of quantum physics. Nothing exists until it's observed. When I observe something, like most humans, I also give it meaning, right? When I give it meaning, I'm creating something that's only for me. So now I understand that you think differently than I do. You're right. You describe something as a certain way, you are right. Even if I don't see it that way, it doesn't matter because you have defined it the way you have. I've defined it the way I have. That allows me more than anything else to have an open mind and listen. I can't learn from you if you think like I do, but I can learn from you if you think differently. And I now understand, at least one of my understandings is that everybody thinks differently, which is beautiful for me because that means I have so much to learn. And thank you for all thinking differently. Yes, Tracy, thank you for your patience.
I have a testimonial from my husband. He has been listening, well, to a lot of them, but mostly the self-mastery set. And he does floor covering installation. So he walks on his knees 12 hours a day sometimes, and he has bad knees. So he has a lot of chronic pain in his shoulders and arms and knees. So anyway, his knee was really bad one day and he was working on a job and needed to finish. So he set his intention for it to help him with his pain. And he was listening to the Rewire hypnosis one. And the next morning when he woke up, he had absolutely no pain. And he wondered, okay, this could be a coincidence, but I don't think it is. And so he's tried it like 3 or 4 times and it has helped him so much. It's amazing. So
that's wonderful. Could I ask you a favor?
Yeah.
You think he'd mind doing, if you held a little smartphone up to him, would he mind doing a 30-second testimonial?
I think he would, yeah. Yeah.
That would be very nice. And then we could share, people don't understand how powerful testimonials are because people who would otherwise say, nah,
right.
They see a real person with their eyes looking at the camera going, like, I don't know what you mean necessarily because I interpret everything based on how I interpret the words. But when I'm looking at your eyes,
yeah,
it's the window to the soul, right?
Right.
Like our best understanding is when we look at each other.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean we understand each other, but at least it's closer. And maybe he'll help people that he'll never know, never know him, and he'll be able to help people.
Yeah. 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 So thank you.
Oh, I appreciate that. And yeah, nag him for me, okay? Tell him you shared and we'd love to be able to share this with a lot more people if possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, Heidi had a great idea. If you could add it to the Facebook page, that would be amazing. Wonderful. Okay, let's see. I couldn't access the website above with my password and username, so I created a new account, but now it's okay. Don't create a new account, Shifali. And this goes for everybody. And if you have clients who have the same problem, if you have a problem getting in on either the app or the Passion.io webpage, just do I forgot my password and create a new password. Try it. I'm sure that'll work for you. So forget about the new account. Just go back, log in again, but this time I forgot password.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, it's an easy fix for this kind of thing.
Run, honey. Oh, there we go.